Stephane Tartaglia. I'm Mitch Garbus. It's good to see you guys again.
Cheers.
Now, I get thirsty. Smoking cigars is hard work.
It is hard work.
But the question is...
delve into that passion takes a toll on the body.
It really does, especially on the palate, and you need to keep hydrated. So, what is the right drink to take with a cigar?
That is a very good question. Depends what time of day it is. Depends what time of year it is. Something as simple as a glass of water. Cheers.
Cheers. No, never.
Never with water. That's
military
right.
superstition.
That's right. Yeah. Has that alcohol in it, right?
Well, it can't just be water.
Can't just be water. Okay. A nice coffee. Today we are drinking Cuban coffee.
Cubita.
I find goes well with a cigar. Just happens to be I'm smoking a Cuban cigar.
Now, if I'm on the beach in Havana or Varadero or Holguin or wherever, I'm going to choose to go for a Spanish coffee, which is a cappuccino with a hint of, and by hint of I mean about 3 fingers of, rum.
Lovely.
I don't think that that's your thing. You're not much of a drinker.
I'm not much of a drinker.
But that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy something to drink with your cigar. It's just not going to be alcoholic.
Absolutely not. They have. I enjoy a non-alcoholic beer. I very much enjoy a coffee while I'm smoking a cigar. If I'm having a stronger cigar, I will go for an espresso. Excuse me. Pronounce it correctly.
You're Italian. You know you're going to get a ticket for that.
Paisan, yeah, they're going to kick me out of the group.
Yep. I've always wondered about non-alcoholic beer. Isn't that like de-alcoholized scotch? What really is the purpose?
There are some very disgusting non-alcoholic beers. There are also some fantastic non-alcoholic beers. And they taste just like a real beer. If you like the flavor of beer, but you don't want the alcohol, there are a bunch of microbreweries as well that make non-alcoholic beer.
Now, this is something that I consider to be extreme discrimination, because there is actually no such thing as non-alcoholic scotch, and I really think that we should complain to somebody about that.
Why not?
We are discriminated against.
Well, at least I feel I'm on the right side of that debate, you know?
It's like being a white male. What do you mean discrimination? This is great. I say that as a Middle Easterner. So, we're talking about pairing our drinks, and you said it depends on the time of day, it depends on the time of year. How about what you just ate?
Oh, absolutely.
Because what's in your stomach affects your taste buds completely.
Completely. If you've had a very heavy meal, you might want to follow up with something light, and maybe a light cigar.
Now, if I've had a nice piece of broiled fish, nice salmon, I would go for a spicy or a peppery cigar.
Peppery cigar, and maybe a glass of white wine with your cigar.
Ooh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So, glass of white wine, or I'm kind of partial to, as I said, I haven't found a scenario where scotch is inappropriate, except when you're driving and smoking, that's bad.
Yes.
But other than that, if you're not behind the wheel and you don't have to drive, a wee dram of scotch latte.
A wee dram of scotch latte, yes.
Now, one of the advantages of having my son, the elder, studies at the University of Edinburgh, okay, I don't know the name of their sports clubs. I know if he went to Michigan, it would be Go Wolverines. I don't know what the sports clubs' names are at Edinburgh, but I got to spend the summer a few weeks in the summer in Scotland, and I wasn't going to go without cigars, and I was also not going to go without scotch. So it was a match made in heaven.
Well, it depends on your taste buds. I have friends who absolutely enjoy rye with their cigars. I have another friend who swears by rum, and he's got a collection of about 15 different bottles of rum, and this rum goes with this cigar, that rum goes with that cigar, and it's what you like. And the whole point of smoking a cigar is because you enjoy it. It's a passion. You are taking time for yourself and pairing that with the right drink, as well as the right food before or after, is part of the passion.
Now, there are some pairings that I would be very careful of. When you're drinking a very peaty, strong whiskey, I would not go with a lighter cigar because one's flavor is going to overpower the other. And you don't want it to be overpowering. Likewise, if you've got a very peppery cigar, you don't want to have a very light Scotch.
No.
You want to have a balance between the two.
They need to be complementary.
Exactly. So when I'm drinking, for example, a Lagavulin 16, which is really one of my favorite PD.
I've heard you talk about it a lot.
It is an Isla malt. It is 16 years old and it is just delightful. I wouldn't have a Romeo and Juliet with that. I would probably have a Monte Cristo number 2, which we've discussed.
Bolivar.
Bolivar, which is nice and robust.
Yes.
So, really, the question is, we can't tell you what the right pairing is exactly. We can give you some guidelines, and the great part about that is you have homework. We're going to give them homework for this is the first time we're doing that. You have to go take your cigar and take different drinks and see what works for you. And it may take hours and hours and hours of study.
Oh my God, that sounds like a horrible job. I feel for you. I'm sorry, but you have to do it.
So we're going to make you do that. So go do your homework. Stephane Tartaglia, I'm Mitch Garvis. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.